The passive income scam. Why money while you sleep is just a marketing lie.
The truth about passive income is not what you think. For years, the internet has sold you the seductive dream of earning money while you sleep. Promise sounds almost divine. Sip cocktails on a beach while your bank account grows on autopilot. But behind the glossy thumbnails, rented Lamborghinis, and fake success stories lies a brutal reality. What you call passive income is often nothing more than active labor in disguise. Instead of freedom, you end up with stress, endless monitoring, and disappointment disguised as financial wisdom. If you have ever believed that clicking refresh on your brokerage app is the road to wealth, this truth will sting. This is where the fantasy dies and the facts begin. The concept of making effortless money has been weaponized by marketers, gurus, and self-proclaimed financial experts who thrive on your desire for an escape. They know the emotional pull of the phrase "money while you sleep" taps into your deepest wish, freedom from the grind. But the harsh reality is that passive income is neither fast nor free. It requires massive capital, years of front-loaded work, or both. What you thought was financial independence is more like financial babysitting, before you fall for the next shiny course or YouTube pitch. It is time to uncover the uncomfortable truth. Passive income is a myth dressed up in expensive clothes.
Because clicking refresh on your broker account is totally passive, right?
Ah, the sweet dream of passive income, the holy grail of modern finance. The mythical land where money magically appears in your account while you sip overpriced coffee in Bali and pretend to read. The intelligent investor for your Instagram followers. Welcome to the cult of living off dividends, where reality checks bounce harder than your rent payment. Let us get one thing straight. Clicking refresh on your brokerage account every 10 minutes is not passive income. It is financial voyeurism with a sprinkle of delusion. You've probably seen the thumbnails. Some guy in a hoodie, fake surprised face, giant red arrows pointing at a chart, and a title like "How I Make $7,426 a month doing nothing." Sure, bro, nothing. Except, of course, researching stocks for 4 hours a day, obsessing over quarterly earnings, and panicking every time Jerome Powell clears his throat. But hey, he said passive, so it must be effortless, right? Why? Here's the uncomfortable truth. Dividend investing is not passive unless you already have stupid amounts of money. And I mean stupid as in bought a yacht named compound interest money. Let's do some painful math. Want to make $3,000 a month in dividends? That is $36,000 a year? Let us say your average dividend yield is 4%. Sounds reasonable, right? Well, quick math. $36,000 divided by 0.04 equals $900,000. Yes, you need $900,000 invested, just to barely survive in a big city while praying inflation does not eat your lunch. So unless you have a spare million lying around under your mattress, you are not living off dividends. You are living off dreams. Here's the irony. The people chasing passive income are often the ones working the hardest to feel passive. You spend hours watching YouTube videos from finance gurus who barely look old enough to rent a car. You track dividend payout dates like a bloodhound. You celebrate that $2.85 dividend from a TNT like it is Christmas morning. Congratulations. You have replaced your 9-to-5 job with a 24/7 addiction to your brokerage app. Passive income? No, it is anxiety income, compulsive income, doom scroll income. Let us not forget the emotional trap. Every month, you get those sweet dividend notifications. $6.23 from Realty Income. It feels like winning the lottery. Until you realize that is not even enough for a large pizza. Then comes the market dip. Suddenly, your $900 portfolio looks like $823, and your heart rate hits 150 BPM. But sure, go ahead. Tell people you are financially free. You know who loves the idea of passive income? Marketers, course creators, guys selling a dividend stock secrets ebook for $97. They know the word passive triggers something deep in your brain, a desperate hope that one day you can stop working and live off the fruits of your brilliant investing. But here's the dark truth. If someone is selling you the idea of passive income, chances are their passive income is you. Your clicks, your purchases, your attention. They will not tell you that dividend-paying stocks can cut or cancel dividends anytime. They will not tell you that taxes will eat a chunk of your passive cash. They will not tell you that real passive income often takes a ton of active work up front, building a business, creating digital products, or owning real estate that does not fall apart every 6 months, because that does not sell as well as make money in your sleep, which sounds better than make money after 10 years of saving. It's hustling and sacrificing your social life. So is it all a lie? Not entirely. You can live off dividends, but it is not passive in the beginning. It takes time, discipline, and real money, not just wishful thinking in a $1,000 Robinhood account. If you want to build wealth, stop chasing shortcuts. Start investing consistently. Grow your income. Live below your means. And for the love of all that is holy, stop hitting refresh like it is a slot machine.
The magical world where $100 in dividends pays your rent. In Monopoly money.
Ah, yes, the glorious dream. Buy a few shares of some blue chip stock. Sit back, do absolutely nothing, and watch those dividend checks roll in like a tsunami of wealth. Except, you check your account, and wow, a whole $3.12 from your investment in Procter & Gamble. Balin. Time to retire, right? Look and think. If Monopoly money could pay your bills, then yes, your dividend strategy might actually work. But here in the real world, where food has inflation, landlords want actual currency. And your Spotify subscription costs more every year. $100 in annual dividends is not passive income. It is passive delusion. And yet here you are scrolling YouTube, watching someone with a clickbait thumbnail telling you how their dividend snowball changed their life. Meanwhile, they live with their parents and make more money from ad revenue than dividends. But sure, they are totally living off passive income. The sad part is, you want to believe it, we all do, that this can be the escape hatch. That some magical combination of tickers like KO, J&J, and T will rain down enough cash to cover your Netflix and your electric bill, maybe even rent, of course, if you move into a cardboard box behind a Walgreens. You bought into the narrative by dividend aristocrats. Reinvest the dividends, and eventually your portfolio will do all the work for you. But what nobody told you is, unless you are starting with a portfolio that looks like it belongs to Warren Buffett's godson, you are going to be stuck in the $7.24 this quarter phase for a long time. And that assumes the company even keeps paying. But hey, your favorite finance guru told you that Coca-Cola has never missed a dividend payment in decades? So you are basically rich already. Just ignore the fact that $100 worth of KO pays out around $3.08 per year. That is right. You would need around $400,000 invested just to pull in $1,000 a month. And that does not even touch taxes, or inflation, or that sneaky little dividend cut when the economy sneezes. So yes, welcome to the magical fantasy land of dividend investing, where people genuinely believe $100 in annual income makes them financially independent. Newsflash, you are not financially free if you need to open your portfolio every morning just to feel alive. What is worse? Some folks start posting these micro wins online like they are flexing a Lambo. Just got my first dividend from Apple. $0.88, bro. That is not income. That is pocket lint. But here's the kicker. This fantasy persists because it feels good. That little ping from your brokerage app, that dopamine hit. You tell yourself it is working. I am building passive income. You are not. You are collecting digital breadcrumbs and calling it a feast. And meanwhile, the content mills keep pumping out videos like top 5 dividend stocks that pay me daily. Sure, if by daily, you mean they each pay once a quarter, staggered just right so you can pretend it is daily income. But in reality, you are getting small trickles of cash so spaced out that even your bank account is embarrassed to show the balance. The truth? You could make more money picking up loose change at the laundromat. At least that is cash in hand. Let us be real. The only people making real money from dividends without a massive portfolio are the ones selling you the dream. Their passive income does not come from Johnson & Johnson. It comes from affiliate links, sponsored posts, and monetized delusion. You watch, you believe, you subscribe, and they cash out. Look, dividend investing is not useless. It is a tool, but only if you are playing the long game, have actual capital, and understand that passive does not mean instantly rich. It means slowly, steadily, painfully building something over decades while still working, saving and living in the real world. But if you think that a few bucks a month means you are on your way to early retirement, then please, at least do it with some style. Frame your dividend statement next to your Monopoly board. Maybe even start charging rent on Baltic Avenue, because that is about the only property you can afford right now.
Sleep while you earn. More like nap while you panic about market crashes.
You have seen the slogan. You've heard the dream. Make money while you sleep. Sounds amazing, right? The idea that your money is out there grinding for you, generating income while you rest like some kind of financial ninja. But here is the real version for most people trying to live off dividends. You fall asleep at midnight, dream of early retirement, wake up at 3:37 a.m. in a cold sweat after checking futures and seeing the market is down to 0.3%. So yes, technically you are making money while you sleep. But you are also aging 10 years every time the Fed whispers something weird. Let us stop pretending this is peaceful. This is not some Zen millionaire lifestyle with yoga at sunrise and cappuccinos by the ocean. This is checking pre-market movements before brushing your teeth. This is reading Reddit threads titled, "Is this the big one?" while eating cereal straight from the box. Do not even get me started on earnings season. You tell yourself you are a long-term investor. But the second Apple announces their guidance is 1% lower. You are pacing your room like a degenerate gambler waiting on a horse race. So much for passive. Oh, and dividends. Yeah, they arrive on a fixed schedule, but stock prices do not care about your sleep schedule. That cozy $1,000 dividend you were expecting? Great, except your portfolio just dropped $8,000 overnight. But hey, you were in it for the income, right? Keep telling yourself that while your broker app shows red lines so long it looks like a crime scene. Truth is, most people trying to live off dividends are just one bad week away from total existential collapse. You think you are emotionally stable until your beloved safe dividend stock tanks because of something some CEO said on a call you did not even listen to. Suddenly you are on Google searching. Do dividend stocks recover after cutting their payout? At 4:12 a.m., sleep while you earn. Please, this is nap while you panic. Close your eyes for 5 minutes, wake up, and check if your net worth has evaporated. Because some analyst downgraded your favorite, read from strong buy to sell, and never speak of this again. Let us also acknowledge the mental gymnastics people perform to feel safe in their dividend strategy. I only invest in dividend aristocrats. They never cut their dividend. Yeah, until they do. Then what? You go back to eating ramen and pretending it is by choice? Because let us face it, there is no such thing as guaranteed income. Dividends can get slashed, suspended, or disappear altogether. And when that happens, guess what? There goes your monthly freedom paycheck. And while you are busy pretending everything is fine, your anxiety is screaming in the background louder than your dividend reinvestment plan. But hey, do not worry. You reinvested that $4.17 from Johnson & Johnson. You are totally on track to be a millionaire by the year 2097. Here is the real kicker. The people who actually sleep while they earn. They do not talk about it. They are not refreshing their apps. They're not chasing yield like it is Black Friday. They have assets, real ones, diversified portfolios, multiple income streams, and they built them over time through actual effort. Not by throwing a few grand into a high-yield ETF and calling it a retirement plan. So next time you hear "make money while you sleep," just remember, for most people, this lifestyle is less passive income and more passive-aggressive insomnia. You are not dreaming of freedom. You are dreaming of dividend payout dates, earnings calls, whether that stock you bought for the yield is actually a slow-motion dumpster fire. Enjoy your nap. Just do not forget to check the markets the moment you wake up. Because who knows, you might have earned $3 in dividends and lost your sanity in the process.
From zero to financial freedom. In just 87 years.
Ah, financial freedom, the holy grail of modern life. The dream sold to you by influencers and rented Lamborghinis and men with suspiciously shiny foreheads telling you to buy my course. But here's the kicker. Sure, you can live off dividends. All you need is about $2 million lying around. Easy, right? Just check between the couch cushions or maybe sell a kidney. Problem solved. The math is simple. Let us say you are a conservative investor and you aim for a 4% yield. 4% of $2 million is $80,000 per year. Sounds like a cushy lifestyle, does it not? Except, of course, for that tiny little barrier of actually having $2 million in the first place. Because nothing screams financial freedom quite like working your 9-to-5 for 5 decades. Scrimping, saving, and finally hitting your target the same week you qualify for a senior discount at Denny's. But hey, let us not be too cynical. Let us imagine the optimistic case. You start with zero, save religiously, and put your money into a nice, boring index fund that gives you, let us say, a 7% annual return. If you maximize your savings at, let us be generous, $500 a month, guess how long it will take you to reach $2 million? Roughly 60 years. Congratulations, you will be a millionaire just in time to afford your first hip replacement. And that is assuming everything goes perfectly. No layoffs, no surprise medical bills, no global financial crises, no children who need braces, or worse, college tuition. No, in this fantasy, the stock market just climbs forever, like Jack's magic beanstalk. And you, the diligent saver, ride it all the way to the land of golden dividends. In reality, you will reach 87 years old, open your brokerage account, and proudly declare, "Finally, I can retire." Right before dropping dead of joy. But do not worry. Your heirs will live very comfortably off your financial freedom. Is that not heartwarming? Of course, the gurus online never tell you about the timeline. They just flash compound interest charts like they are magic spells. Look at this curve, they say, pointing at the line that goes up and to the right. What they fail to mention is that you are standing at the bottom left corner of the graph for what feels like eternity. The line only shoots up after 40 years of not touching your investments. By then, you are not sipping margaritas on a beach, you are sipping lukewarm prune juice at the retirement home. And then there is inflation. The cruel little thief that sneaks into your financial plans at night. That $80,000 of dividend income you dreamed about? In 40 years, it will buy you about 3 eggs, half a tank of gas, maybe a Netflix subscription if they have not raised the price to $99.99 a month by then. You will still be technically free, but only in the sense that prisoners with ankle monitors are free. Now, do not get me wrong, investing is important, saving is necessary. But let us stop pretending that financial freedom through dividends alone is some quick and easy hack. Unless you start with a mountain of cash or invent the next iPhone, it is a slog. The kind of slog that makes running a marathon look like a casual jog in the park. What is the alternative then? Well, you could actually focus on increasing your income. Radical, I know. Instead of clipping coupons and hoping your coffee habit does not ruin your retirement, maybe learn a skill that pays you more than peanuts. Build a business. Create something people actually want to pay for. Actively improve your financial situation instead of relying on a 7% return like it is divine intervention. Or better yet, redefine what freedom means. Because if your grand plan is to grind until you are ancient, just so you can live off dividends, maybe you have confused freedom with masochism. True freedom is not waiting until you are old enough to qualify for the early bird special. It is structuring your life so you have control today. Maybe that is having a side hustle that covers your rent. Maybe it is moving to a cheaper country where $1,500 a month makes you king. Or maybe it is just saying no to the latest consumerist nonsense you do not actually need. Financial freedom should not feel like a race you only win when you are nearly dead. But if you are determined to chase the dividend dream, go ahead. Just know the fine print. You will get there. In only 87 years. Hope you like bingo nights, orthopedic shoes, and bragging to the other retirees about your perfectly optimized ETF portfolio.
Sleep while you earn. More like nap while you panic about market crashes.
Ah, yes, passive income. The magical unicorn of the financial world. The dream that promises you can sip mojitos on a beach while your bank account fills itself. Just like that. Easy breezy. No hustle required. The only problem? It is a lie. Scam wrapped in a bodie. Passive income is just active income and a tuxedo fancy branding for the same old grind. Let us start with the basics. The cold truth. If you want money without lifting a finger, you had better marry it or inherit it. That is it. That is the full list of options. Unless your last name accidentally happens to be Bezos, Gates, or Kardashian. There's no universe where checks just fall into your lap because you said it and forget it. But the internet would have you believe otherwise. Scroll through Instagram and you will see self-proclaimed gurus preaching the gospel of make money while you sleep. They will pose next to Lamborghinis they do not own. On vacations, they charge to a credit card telling you to invest in my system. Spoiler alert. Their passive income is actually your active stupidity. Funding their lifestyle while you buy another exclusive ebook that reads like it was written during a caffeine overdose. Let us talk real-world examples. Rental properties, supposedly the king of passive income. Until your tenant decides their emotional support iguana deserves a wall mural and you are stuck with a $12,000 repair bill. Or when the air conditioner dies in July and suddenly you are running a part-time HVAC business at 3 a.m. Passive. Sure, you define passive as being passively screamed at by angry tenants. Dividends? It's the ultimate in set it and forget it. Just park a casual $1 million into a portfolio and enjoy your passive $40,000 a year. But you do not have $1 million lying around? Better start hustling for about 4 decades, and maybe you will get to experience the thrill of financial freedom right as arthritis makes typing your brokerage password a challenge. What about royalties? You know, the idea that you create one thing like a book, a song, or a digital course and it pays you forever? Sounds amazing. Until you realize writing that book takes 2 years, editing takes another. In marketing, it feels like a second full-time job where you are screaming into the social media void, hoping someone, anyone, actually buys it. And even then, congratulations. You are making $3.27 a month. That will cover half a latte. Passive indeed. Here is the inconvenient truth no guru wants to tell you. Passive income always requires one of 2 things, money or work, usually both. You either invest a large amount of money up front, which you obtained by hustling in the first place, or you put in an insane amount of work to build something scalable. And even after that, there is maintenance. Systems break. Markets shift. Customers complain. You will always be tinkering, babysitting, or stressing. Passive income is just delayed hustle. The tuxedo metaphor is perfect here. Passive income dresses itself up like it is classy, elegant, and effortless. But underneath is sweating bullets, panicking about cash flow, and juggling problems like every other form of income. The tuxedo does not change the fact that it is the same beast hit, just makes it look sexier for the pitch deck. Now, does that mean passive income is worthless? Not at all. It's done right. It is leverage. It is taking the hustle you already did. Money saved, skills built, assets created, letting them work for you over time. But calling it hustle-free is like calling kale delicious. Technically possible, but mostly delusion. Here is the mindset shift. Stop chasing the fantasy of effort-free riches. Instead, embrace the idea of front-loaded effort. Do the work now, whether that is building a business, learning a high-paying skill, or investing smartly, and reap the benefits later. Yes, that future version of you might not be working as hard, but that person is still reaping the sweat equity of present you. So next time someone promises you passive income in 3 easy steps, run. They are either selling you a pipe dream or trying to recruit you into a pyramid scheme dressed up as network marketing. If you want truly passive income, go buy a lottery ticket and pray. Otherwise, accept that all roads lead through hustle. Because the reality is simple. Passive income is not the magic button to escape work. It is just work you already did, wearing a tuxedo, showing up fashionably late to the party. Sometimes, it does not even bring champagne.
Passive income is fantasy.
Here is the cold, unfiltered reality. Passive income is not freedom, it is fantasy. Unless you start with a fortune, marry into money, or inherit a trust fund, there is no magical pipeline of cash that pours into your life without effort. What the internet calls passive is almost always just active work with better marketing. Dividend investing demands decades and nearly $1 million before it feels like a paycheck. Rental properties demand late-night calls, broken appliances, and tenants who think paying rent is optional. Royalties demand years of sweat, creativity, and endless promotion. None of it is hustle-free. None of it is truly passive. The real path to wealth is not a hack, it is a strategy. Save aggressively, invest consistently, build skills that raise your income, create assets that outlive your labor. Accept that every version of financial freedom starts with years of very active sacrifice, because the sooner you stop chasing unicorns and start building actual systems, the sooner you stop being a customer in someone else's scam. Passive income may not be the golden ticket you were promised, but disciplined effort, smart investing, intentional living can still give you control, the kind of freedom that is real, not rented for a thumbnail.